Hello, this is your professor, Scott Jackson. I've been passing out quite a bit today, this morning, so I wanted to get a recording in just in case I can't teach. So if you're watching this, it means that I didn't want to risk passing out. I wanted to be able to edit this out as much as possible. That way, I just know that for some people, they get really worried about my passing out, and it's not a big deal. I just don't want to, I just can't teach class if it's happening a lot. So again, I appreciate your love and concern, but don't worry about me too much, okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm taking precautions. I got my neck pillow in case I go like that. I got my head in case I hit my head. We're all good, okay? I just want you to know that, okay? So, so there will be some pauses sometimes. If there are pauses, it's just because I went back and re-edited it. Nothing to worry about. Okay, let's go ahead and go over what we have coming up next, okay? Um, Basically, for my History 1700 class, I'm going to try to record this for both my History 1700 and my History 2700. Um, let's see here. So, what we have coming up for History 1700, let's just pull this up real quick. Um, my 1700, almost all of you have taken the CLA exam. Again, this is for 1700, my 2700 class. That this isn't for you. I'll talk about you guys later. My history 1700 classes, teach two of those. Way to go, guys. I really, really, really appreciate you guys doing all those CLA exams. It made it made me look really good to my bosses. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you very much. You guys are the greatest. I really appreciate you. Thank you. Um, so we've got a lot of our work done. Um, We have our history conversation final that's due December 12th. I've already had a couple people have that conversation with me, okay? I've done the recording. The history conversation is done. It's good. I appreciate everyone. Yeah, so great job, guys. Appreciate you. 1700. As far as my 20, oh, let's see. You just have quizzes, stuff coming up for you. You have the historical photograph project that's due November 16th. So please don't sleep on that. That's due next Sunday. So you have until then. Now, for my 2700 class, you have your cartoon interpretation that's due November 13th. I think most of you already have that done. Let's see how many. Yeah, 34 of my 2700 class already have that done. So most of you already have that done. So that's something you don't need to worry about. Again, this is 2700, not 1700. Don't want you guys to get mixed up here because I might use the recording for both classes, okay? You have your chapter 19, your chapter 9 quiz coming up, and then you really don't have much until that final. So you guys are sitting pretty good. You guys are sitting pretty good. Good job, guys. You guys are doing well. Okay, let's get started into the PowerPoint. Okay, today we're going to talk a little bit about politics in the, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk a little about politics in the age of passion. Now, whenever someone says, Scott, we've never been more divided, I want to remind you, yes, we have. Yes, we have. We have been more divided. Okay. So, we're going to talk a little about the Adams presidency, Jefferson. So my history 1700 class, this is kind of a little bit of a review for me, for you. My 2700 class will be a little more the 2700 class, this will be kind of where we're at, okay? So this is our preview for the day. We have the Second War of Independence. That's of course the War of 1812, right? Okay. So here's our focus question. What issues made the politics of the 1790s so divisive? A lot of it was Jefferson versus Hamilton, right? So we talk about how separated we are now, but we don't talk about what was so separate here. 1860s, come on, what is the 1860s, guys? The Civil War. The 1960s, there was actually people being shot on campuses as they protested the Vietnam, late 1960s, early 1970s. So it is really a remarkable time that we live in. One of the top most contentious times in America. I mean, you don't have presidents shooting poop out of a fighter jet onto protesters, and then a future presidential candidate dropping poop on Trump. I mean, that's just not that's unlike anything we've seen before. But I wouldn't put it past these guys to do that if they had the technology. Technology makes it pop. Like, what a great use of technology, am I right? What a great use of technology to send poop onto people's heads. Yeah, right on. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. I hope we're still sharing. I believe we're still sharing. Yes, we are. I think so. Let me see if make sure we're sharing here. Okay. Here's our next slide. Financial planning and opposition. Again, the big opposition is Alexander Hamilton is trying to turn America into a commercial, urban first country. Jefferson is trying to make it a rural type setting where everyone is farmers, they study politics, they take care of family members, things like that. So those are all things that Jefferson, it's kind of a romantic version of what America used to be. He wants it to go back. I mean, think about Donald Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again." That's kind of what how or Jefferson wanted. He wanted to make America great again, put it back to those old days where families took care of each other, things like that. Um, Farmers, things like that. Okay. So Hamilton creates a Bank of the United States. He proposes a tax on whiskey. Now, who's growing whiskey? A lot of the farmers, because they produce corn. They then distill it. So if you grow corn and wheat and you just pile it on a barge or something, it doesn't. It's a lot harder to transport. And remember, back in these days, back in the 1790s, early 1800s, the roads were absolutely atrocious. So to get materials to the market, they had to have um, they had to have an easier way to transport it. So they would distill it into whiskey, alcohol, and then they would share it. So a whiskey tax hurt the farmers. Again, you're like, wait, well, how does a whiskey tax? Well, that's how a whiskey tax actually hurts the farmers. He also believes in subsidies and tariffs to protect factory development. He wants to create industrial manufacturing. So think about it. Those are there 1700 that we talked about the Industrial Revolution. We talked about the Civil War. We talked about all those things. Where is this coming from? This is coming from Hamilton. Hamilton's vision wins out. Remember, that's important to know. Hamilton's vision wins out over Jefferson's. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna go back and edit that if I can. Hold on. I don't know how to edit it now. Okay. Oh, anyways. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So the Jefferson Hamilton bargain is struck. Jefferson brokers a deal whereby Southerners accepted Hamilton's program, except for the manufacturing, of course, in exchange for the establishment of the national capital being on the Potomac. That's in Washington, right? That's where it was going to be. Okay. Here we have Liberty in Washington. Washington, a great president, one of the greatest presidents. The reason why America worked is because of the way that Washington brought together so many. Okay, revolution in France. The impact of the revolution was kind of like, oh, hey, we want to do what America does. Not my best. I'm not very good with French accents. Don't send me a nasty email. If you're French, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. So basically, what happens is the British want to have support um, against the French. Remember, the British and the French often fight, and so they have the idea called impressment. Impressment is where you take soldiers, you just take random sailors off of American ships and make them serve in the British Navy. Now this upsets. I mean, yeah, right, rightfully so. America's like, what the freak? You can't just steal our not pirates, sailors. You can't just steal our sailors. You can't just take them from us. That is illegal. And so this is a big element of why um, war starts to happen, the War of 1812. Jay's Treaty, the British agreed to abandon outposts on the Western fronts, and the United States guarantees to favor British imported goods. Okay. It's like if like Britain's like our ex-lover, guys. Like we just can't get rid of them. We just keep going back to them over and over. Like we love you, Britain. We love you. You're our friends. And yeah, that's not a great look. Okay. Here's our recruitment letter. They send the French. Remember, the French helped America. They helped us, right? So now they're like, help us win our own revolution. And Jefferson is a big Francophile. That means he loves France. And so the French have a lot of support, the British have a lot of support, and it depends on which group you ask, right? The Hamilton, who is a fan of the Industrial Revolution, he sees what's happening over in Britain. They hit their Industrial Revolution quite a bit sooner than us. They hit that, and then all of a sudden everything's good, right? Yeah. All right. Here's our political parties. We have the Federalists and the Republicans. Those are just names. If anybody's like, yeah, Republicans have been around longer than Democrats, not really. Nobody's the same as they once were. All political parties are different. Don't feel like your political party you know, is the right one because it's not. All political parties are evil, except for the ones in power. Insert one in power. Republicans. Um, I didn't edit that in. Whoever's in power at this time, maybe it's the Democrats. That's who I support. Yeah, whoever's in power, whoever will keep my job, by golly. Um, so the outlook for the political party under Hamilton, the Federalists, are mostly elitists. They're elitists, right? They're like, we are better than you guys. Remember, Jefferson's like, we love the little guy. The little guy is they're our guys. We love them. There's Infant Liberty getting a nice milk this is a fun cartoon. We have the baby being robbed from the cradle by Mother Liberty or by Mother Mob. That's how Liberty is started. Kind of a gross cartoon. Don't look too deep into that. It's kind of gross. Here we have General George Washington again. He's our hero, right? He is our hero. He is the one that brought America together better than anyone else. I think we really have to give this guy credit for everything he did for us. He really did a lot. Here we have a Jeffersonian. Venerate the plow. Venerate means like praise, honor. Praise the plow. Praise the plow. Hallelujah. Praise the plow, right? Um, the Republicans, again led by Madison and Jefferson, embrace popular politics. So those of you that are astute are like, wait a minute, Madison was a Federalist. He's the one that wrote the Federalist Papers. He wanted a strong national government. That is true. But then he backs off quite a bit and starts to support Jefferson a little bit more, or quite a bit more. These groups more sympathetic to France, more faith in democracy, self-government. They want there to be self-governance. And in that way, Madison never changed. Madison's wanted self-government all along. It's the Hamiltonians that are like, no, we want a strong federal government. In fact, the only reason why Hamilton did not become president, probably, I'm guessing, is because he was not born in America. He was born in the Caribbean. Yeah, interesting, huh? So those of you that are freaking out about um, Zodani, oh man, I have a hard time with his name. I forgot it. I just totally spaced it. The mayor of New York City, people are like, oh no, he's going to take over America and socialism, roar. And the Constitution would have to be changed. If you're really worried about the Constitution being violated, the more immediate future that we fear about that is Trump running for a third term, which of course is unconstitutional in America. You can't run for a third term. Okay. The growth of the public sphere, an expanding public sphere. Um, more citizens are getting involved, and so this is where the violence, the passion, really starts to take place, because they're like, wait a minute, they're not they're not let's see. The- we can't have them because they're just ordinary common folk. They're just ordinary common folk. Am I right? They're just ordinary common folk. So we can't let that happen. Okay, I think we're gonna have to stop there. Um, let's talk about women real quick. We gotta talk about women, and then I probably need to go. Make sure this is shared right here. Right there. Okay. Women are an important role here in America. We have women starting to say, "Wait a minute, we should have rights." How about that, right? Women having rights? That's important. Believe it or not, all my people out there that don't think women should have rights, I think they should. I think they should have rights. I think they should have equal rights. Whether you're an egalitarian where you think men and women are equal, or you're a feminist where you think women deserve special. No, I mean some feminists say that women should have special treatment because they've been far behind, but some feminists just say, you know what, we just think men and women should be equal. So um, we have a book called On the Equality of Sexes. Again, let's have equality, right? Um, okay. I'm gonna have to end it right there, guys. I apologize for this not being super long. I did want to get you something today. I really am. I really hate that we're not getting you enough content. I apologize. I hope this helps a little bit, just gets us on the right track to continue. I will see you Wednesday for those of you that are here. I apologize again. I will say this. I will say this. If you need office hours, if you need to contact me, we need to reach out, talk one to one, let's do it. I want to make sure that this semester more than ever that you guys have the opportunity. I want to make sure that you guys have the opportunity. So I want you guys to all have the chance of really doing well. Okay, I want you guys to do well this semester. I don't want anybody to feel like they don't have the chance to to do well this semester because of me, because of my illness. So if you do really, let's say you're at a C and you're like, you know what, I want to get up to a B. A B is what my goal was. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. We'll try to get you up to the highest grade we can. Okay, guys? We want you guys to get there. So I'm gonna end there. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all your understanding and just being patient with me. Thank you.